Did a video not too long ago about using cheap shop lights as grow lights, and it turned out to be a pretty controversial video. One of the biggest critiques I got is people saying that underneath these cheap $25 shop lights, plants cannot flower and they cannot fruit because the lighting spectrum is wrong. I'm gonna really need one of those guys to come over here and tell that to all my tomato plants that have a bunch of flowers on them and tomatoes. And it's not just one tomato. I have multiple tomatoes. Tomatoes that are coming in healthy and growing bigger by the day. Now, ideally, you don't want plants this big growing inside your house. We had a little issue this year with underestimating the power of the chicken compost added to the soil blocks. So even though I just started these plants like 6 weeks ago, some of them are absolutely massive. They're getting way overcrowded up here. We're in the process of hardening them off. A lot of these guys are going to go out over the weekend, clear up some space here. But it really goes to show, if I had these lights moved up, these plants weren't as crowded. Even with a lot of them, even becoming root bound in these bigger pots. We potted a lot of these up. I just did a video on fixing root bound plants. They're getting flowers, they're getting fruit. So what I've been doing here, which maybe a lot of people fail, maybe they get flowers open, they don't set fruit because you don't have any pollinators inside your house. This is how easy it is to pollinate a tomato flower. You just tap it really fast on top. It pollinates itself. I haven't even done that to most of these flowers in here. Only a couple of them where you can see where the actual tomatoes are coming in, because I don't want fruit on these yet. I'm going to end up hacking these things to pieces to plant them super deep when they go out to the garden this weekend. Now, if you actually did want to grow tomatoes, peppers, stuff like that inside your house, do you want to use a 300 plus watt light at the energy rates we got going on right now? Or would you rather use something that's 50 watts? That's going to cost you a lot less money. A lot of people saying it's just good for starting seeds. I can agree with that. These things work awesome for starting seeds. Ground cherries are loving them. Got some cuttings off to the side here, cloning some of my cherry bomb tomatoes. Got some sage in there. We already propagated some mint. I'd like to thank some of you guys that showed up in the comments and said you have taken tomatoes, peppers, cannabis to full term with cheap shop lights. It helps validate what I'm trying to say. I think a lot of the failures people have has more to do with environmental factors. Maybe your basement or your grow area is too cold, your humidity's off, you're not hand pollinating, you're not fertilizing the right way. Inside is not the ideal location to be growing plants. So you have to put in a lot of extra effort for it. I'm convinced that extra effort does not have to be in really expensive grow lights. If anybody wants to keep arguing about lighting spectrums and saying the cheap shop LEDs don't work to grow food, go ahead, do so in the comments. We can keep going back and forth on it. But for now, these guys got to go outside, get used to being outdoors, because I'm sick of having them in the house. Thanks for watching.